Yeah, it says whatever it says now. We'll fight over the human imagination. Money will kill us all as we fight over the human imagination. And money is humans' imagination. We all fight over this fucking thing. It's a bit time that we learn to just say, no, I don't want your money. I'm done with this shit. Because when I ask people, like, why'd you go to work? Oh, because I get paid. So you don't enjoy your job? No, I just get paid, mate. Well, why are you doing it? We could have a robot doing that job. Right, that's another thing. AI technology. AI technology is going to be brought in to make humans' life a lot more easier. The fact that a robot is more reliable than a human is a lot more better off. Why you're all fighting for AI technology not to be released means you've got to do the work. Right? And for any sort of technology, you bothered about AI technology, the one in front of you is worse. A mobile phone, it's in your hand, it's bumping out radio waves. And also Wi-Fi waves. But that's not an issue. Someone's stupid. You lot. You worry about stuff that has no need to be worried about. Dolphins and plastic straws. Really? That's what you was worried about? Not a million other things that's wrong with the world? You're bothered about dolphins and plastic straws. Wow. Worry about the most smallest objects in the world. They'll help the bigger ones get solved, not they? Okay. They'll help the bigger ones, they will. They'll just whittle them out of the way, those little ones, you know. It's not the straws that's the problem. I'll tell you that now. It's the humans that's the problem. Right? Keep making the plastic straws. Just get rid of the humans. You know what I mean? Simple as. It's not the plastic straw's fault, is it? It's not like the plastic straw went psst, psst. Do you know where I'd look good? In that ocean. In that ocean? You'd look good in that ocean, would you, straw? I never thought of that. You would, wouldn't you? Yeah. I could clog up a dolphin and make them drown. Chuck me in that river. Chuck me in that ocean. I don't think a fucking straw's doing that, mate. That's your human that does that. You, as a human. You throw that plastic straw in that ocean, creating the waste. So as a human, we're all at fault for each and other's animosities that we've done to this world. Yeah. God forbid anybody to try and change it. The government will shut that down ASAP. ASAP. It's quite easy. You label them with Asperger's, some sort of problem with him, and like Tesla. Tesla's loads better than fucking Nikola Einstein and all that. But hey, what do you mean I ain't in a chat with Park? I didn't even know Mitch was in the party. Where did Mitch even get into the party? Oh no, what's it doing? Stop it! Stupid game. What have I done? What do you mean that? Apex is updating. Why is Apex updating? You there, Mitch? Over near you. Why is my PlayStation like slow as fuck? which has no mic. Mute, unmute. They're still there. So, I think got a lot to be changing, mate. Ah, there you are, you little fucking flying thing. Oi, get in here, you bastard. I don't want to lose you. You've been my pet friend. But we got a lot to be changing. And the problem is, until humanity actually learns to come together as one, but we're so easily painted against each other, mainly due to our own ego. Our own ego kills. And trust me, as an Asperger's person, I know the definition of what your own ego can do. Your own ego will cut those around you that you love out. And everything. See, look, this is what kills dolphins, really. Magna blocks. That's all I ever get fucking caught in here, mate. It's meant to be a fish farm. A simple thing that you got to do, mate. One simple thing. Let's cut the government out your shit, mate. I mean, think about it. What does the government do? I really think, right, I get looked down on because I've been put on benefits and I'm stuck in the system now, right? But yet the government does the exact same things that I do on a daily to day basis. I have discussion with my friends, not MPs, but their friends, about the way of life, about the way that it is and about the way that it should go and stuff like that. This is all your government does, apart from has power to enforce this. But he only has the power to enforce this because you idiots enforce it for him. Because you get paid out of the money that you make, you earn, and you produce in this comedy. Whether this man just sits on the sideline and takes all the benefits, why you do all the work. Why are you allowing that? I wouldn't let anyone take the benefits for my work or the credit for my work. The reason why I don't fucking want to work for the government, and I can't because they put me off. The fact that when I did go to work and I was doing 12-hour shift and I was supposed to be earning £700 but only getting 400 of that was kind of a piss take. When I had to pay national insurance and then I had to pay my tax. And then also to find out that my national insurance, even if I did need treatment, I still had to pay for it. So what was the point of the national insurance? Because I don't understand. And as far as I can see, the governments have never really done anything. I mean, look at Boris Johnson in a pandemic. He didn't protect his citizens, he didn't care. He actually wanted to spread the disease to lower the population. Makes more sense. Why do you think there's more viruses coming out than God knows what? It's because we're not killed enough. Why do you think your electric's going up? We've been trying to change for comedy efficiency electrics for a long time now. How all of a sudden has it got so expensive for renewable energy? If renewable energy is supposed to be the new big thing that's going to save the world and the energy crisis within the world. Right? I don't think a fucking windmill is going to save much energy. Right? Those big ass turbines that we put up, it's a windmill. Right? Only ever good at creating enough energy to churn wheat. Right? We've had alternators for a long period of time. You can go outside and you can ignite your car, switch your car on and remove the battery, and it'll be your alternator that will charge everything else. Yeah, that's all we've done. We've got a windmill and an alternator that charges a battery, and we move that battery somewhere else so we can feed it into the currency of the electricity grid, and then so on and so on. That's it. That's all we do. It's not fantastic. It's not going to stop anything. It's not going to change out. It's not going to make the world any better. Right, come on, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people looked at windmills when we were kids. And you can't see it. And you can't see it. You're blind as fuck. And for a start, do you really think an intelligent race out there would charge anybody for any sort of treatment towards any life? We claim to be the intelligent race. Yeah. An intelligent race would have got past its basic instincts by now. But yet we still work on anger, hate. Still don't work together. We was actually more intelligent when we was Neanderthals because we knew how to band together. Yeah. We are now an intelligent creature that can create places, our own habitat. Yeah. We create houses. That's our habitat. That's where we live. That's where we reside. Right. We can create our own habitats instead of looking for a cave or shelter. We learnt to create our own. Yeah. Together, we did that. We learned how to make electricity together. We learned how to come to a society together. Why is it now that we managed to come together so closely that we're all so far apart? You got a mobile phone. You tell me how much effort you actually make to ring any of your loved ones, or you tell me that you spend more effort scrolling through Facebook of shit that you don't care about. Okay? You tell me where your percentage is, because I can tell you majority of my percentage. If I go round and observe the streets, I see majority of people of their attention to their phone. If their kid get injured, they will still be 100% attention to that phone and not acknowledge that their child has just injured theirself. Where do your priorities lie? Because when I seen my son, I shunned anybody I knew. And the only time I looked at my phone was to check the time. To see how long I had left with my son before I had to take him back. For multiple reasons. Because if I didn't take him back on time, I'd have breached the court order. Mel could have got a probable cause that I was trying to kidnap him. Prevented me from seeing him, even though she did anyway. Yeah? And this is through all your system. All your system that's meant to make everything better for everybody else, yeah? Women fight for equality, yeah? Well, where is the equality? Hey, right? Men have got all these rights, yeah? All these rights for their children now. But where the fuck is our visitation rights? Because to be honest, mate, all the rights that we got don't mean shit. We got parental responsibility. Do you know what parental responsibility allows you to do? It allows you to have a look at your child's school records. It will allow you to check on your child's medical records. It will allow you to ring up and see how they're doing at the opticians, at the dentist. Fantastic. That's what your PR provides you. It also allows you to accept medical care and allow your child to be treated. Right? Now, the custody order and residential order are two different things. Residential order is where the child would reside at night time. They would spend 4 days and 4 nights a week at this property by law, creating them the residential order. Custody order is basically just better than PR, really. This is the person that has the power to say bring the child back in this. But the residential order will trump the custody order. Yeah. But a man has no rights of visitation. A man has to go and fight for this. So if we're looking for equality, women, why don't you start looking on the area of where men don't have any rights? You know, And when you say that men only think about sex, yeah? I'll tell you something, mate. I didn't. I don't give a shit about sex. I still don't. It was always the woman that tempted me to that. Right? I prefer to just enjoy my life, mate, and not waste my time. Because, I mean, unfortunately, mate, it's really not worth it. It's just a lot of physical exercise for no reason. Sex to me is only really for reprocreation, mate, and yeah. Oh, I want another kid. I'm gonna see the one I got. I'm not going through the same mosities again. Absolutely bullshit. I mean, it doesn't even matter though if you enlighten people towards the situation, because they've been so robotically programmed that they'll just auto-tune all this shit out. Auto-tune. Literally. And the main reason why is because you do. Anything that you're scared of, you'll just tune out. And if you don't know anything about the situation, you become fearful of it because you're afraid that you'll look stupid. The only way to find out stuff is to experiment, is to ask, is to observe, is to learn. I can't even read. Everything I know is by observing, by learning. I don't have the ability to pick a book up that your government had specifically writ for you to believe. So like if you look at the British history on the wall, and then you look at the Americans' history upon wars, and then you look upon Germany's history upon wars, and then if you look at Russia's history towards that war, they'll all be very one-sided and catered to the other end. Why? Because we always want to look the better. It's like Britain, we're a counter-terrorist in a different country. How does that work? Because the last time I checked, the person that's in the opposite country is the terrorist. They're the invader. You can't be a counter-terrorist unless you're protecting your own country. It's madness. And all it is a trick. I mean, Britain released chemical warfare on its own citizens in London around 19 something, I can't remember because the dates get boring to remember. Right. And they released biological warfare on their own citizens in London, and the reason why was to preempt war. Right. So that if a malicious country got hold of this technology, we was able to counteract it if they was to use it upon our citizens. But technically, a malicious country did get hold of this technology and released it on its own citizens and got away with it. And you've got all these new strands of COVID and all these new strands of viruses coming out with the information that I just provided you. Who do you think's releasing it, you thick shits? Right? England preempted against swine flu. We foreseed swine flu coming, and it was going to be contracted into the human DNA line. Okay? Due to that factor, we already had the virus to sell to every country. Right? I mean, look at it. If we're looking at this in the money organisations process, right, I would maliciously, as a government, I would maliciously get viruses created. I would release it as a pandemic upon my nation to spread it to other countries so I could sell my vaccination. That's exactly what I would do. Why? Because I can make trillions, and money's power in this world. So if I've got all that money, because everyone's buying my vaccination for the virus that I just created, it takes one person to be contaminated, and you only need this one person to be sexually active. Going downtown. Why do you think you're allowed back downtown? See, that's the problem with you people though, isn't it? You don't think. And that's why we're here. Because you don't think, you don't have the ability. It's why you sit on Facebook looking for something. Because you've got no mindset your own. You need to feed off others to get information, to be able to have your own mind. And that's bad. I mean, even our kids nowadays, mate, they sit and watch boring ass YouTube videos and then complain that they're bored. I'm not surprised. Because how do you expect to be able to do anything that that man can afford to do? You will be bored, and be bored shitless. Because you're watching people that can do way more activities than you. Like watching like 34-year-old men acting like kids. Right, it's devastating. They're more mature, they're more grown up. And this is what I mean, mate. Maturity doesn't come with age. It comes through life experience. Because you can look at the oldest person, mate, and he'll be rich as hell. His life experience will only be about money. Or his parents that got him that money. There'll not be much else about it, though. And if you actually find one decent person, you'll find he won't talk about his money or his business. I'll talk about his family. He'll also talk about the time that he missed as well for raising that, and how he wish he could go back. And that'll be a man that learnt through his life experience. And to be honest, mate, you footballers are really not worth the money they get paid. They're really not. Don't get me wrong, they're good at what they do. They provide entertainment for people. They also can build a morale boost for the country as well, which is another good thing. The problem is for an Asperger's person, we also understand what these things are for. And we also know that it can manipulate it for our own benefits as well. Right. If your country is really low in morale, letting that country win the World Cup would boost a morale in that country. It would make the people more hard-working. It would make them more dedicated. Because they've won, they feel good. Feel like they've earned something. And to be honest, mate, they rightfully should if they've won the World Cup. They've competed against all the best teams in the world, and they've come out on top. Also boosts us a huge eco over there, you know, a rise in a comedy, you know, the money. You got to think a lot of people are going to be going across to this country. They're going to be spending their country's money in another country, which brings revenue. You know, it's one of them. For me, my sport is more rugby, skateboard, BMX and stuff like that. Which, skateboarding and all that is more of a solo. It is a solo thing. Like, trying to skateboard as a team would be very annoying and very difficult. Because the fact is, if one person falls on the skateboard, there's a possibility of the rest of the team coming off now. BMX is not too bad, to be honest, because you've got your hand capability. You can direct the BMX out the way. So, that's not too bad. I'm just too old and crippled now to do it. Bones can't hack it. I gotta do a lot of strip mining and I can't be arsed. I mean, basically, all you got to learn, people, is that you provide everything, you do everything, you make the comedy, you pay the government, you make sure they're in a nice big ass building while you get to live in an ice box because of the cold weather. But don't you worry, people, you're paying for Parliament to be heated. Don't you worry about that. Where do you think your working, your taxpayers' money goes to? You actually thought it went to anything else? No. Who do you think pays for the alcohol and the food when they have meetings and stuff? You lot. Why? Why are you providing them the best of the best when it's you that do everything? You provide them the best of the best while you get scraps. And that's what we do as people. I do not live my life to cater for the government. If everybody else does that, that's your own choice. I mean, even your police. Look at your police. Alright, think about this now, for instance. The reason why they don't work upon the common law anymore, I'm going to tell you now, because the company does not get any endorphins that much. The police is a company, believe it or not. It still has to make a profit. It still has to make a revenue to stay there, doesn't it? So how does a business that gets restricted from government fundings manage to stay alive and protect the people? Well, I'll tell you how it does it. It has to start taking endorsements off of corporate companies, e.g. the council. So now the council has the law authority because they're paying them. Yeah? They can now use the council as the threat. If you ever know your common law correctly, know how to use your words correctly, and speak in the old tongue and not the new tongue of the English, you'll be fine. But if you speak like a chav to these people, while their contract is very, very fine printed, there's not a lot, not a lot in it. Are you here to honour your oath today, sir or madam, depending on what sex you're speaking to? You might have to say non-binary now, to be honest, I'm not really sure. That's politically correct bullshit. Right. You gotta speak Roald Dahl, Shakespeare. Not like a fucking chav. Not disrespectful. Right? Because first thing that they're gonna do is, if you even do embrace this, they're gonna go off disturbing the peace. And they will take disturbing the peace as a literal sense, not that an act of violence or theft has been committed, which is the actual terminology of disturbing the peace. They'll just take it as a literal sense, that you're talking too loud, which is disturbing the peace. Yeah. That is. I mean, here's another simple thing for you, mate. Simple ass maths. If you put 1 and 1 together, you equal 2, yeah? So if you leave the government on its own while them two people are working together, who will thrive better? Maybe those two people. Those two people will thrive a lot more than the one individual working on his own. The one individual on his own will wither away to nothing, depending on his personality. But we're on about the government. That's what we're on about. The government will whittle on his own, mate. Let me tell you why. Because he's only used to them two people doing the work for him, not doing it for himself. We leave Boris Johnson out in the world on his own, yeah? And you tell me this mophead is going to survive. Yeah. Mate, this man couldn't survive if I locked him in fucking Tesco. Because he wouldn't know how to cook the food. He wouldn't know how to open a fucking tin. To be honest, Boris Johnson, if you know how to open a tin, please show me that you know how to open a tin and I'll apologise. Maybe you are more intelligent than I thought. And let's be honest, mate, all you people that voted for Boris Johnson, you're an idiot. You voted for Boris Johnson to come out of the EU. Yeah? And don't get me wrong, the EU is just an extra third party. It's just like fair trade. Yeah? Fair trade comes in and goes, right, how much can we sell that for? How much do you want for that? We want 50. We'll give you 2p. Yeah, 2p, not good enough, yeah? Sound. Right, let's sell it to fucking £5 for them British bastards, mate. That's what your fair trade does. It's just a middleman that puts an extra cost in the middle. There's no fair trade. Just more exploitation. More exploitation, but on both ends. See? Instead of just the seller being fucked in the arse, also the purchaser is now being fucked up the arse. Same as drugs and that lot. Do you really think that an average human off an average school education is smart enough to create half of the drugs within the system? No. No. Actually, most of the drugs that were in the system was actually introduced due to warfare. Mainly Hitler. But the British and the Soviets did the same. They did use drugs. British loves their amphetamines. That was the biggest thing. Let me in the door. Stop saving the game. Thank you. I actually need to go over there for Lapis, and I forgot. Your fault, zombie. Well, we're finally doing a little bit better in this world anyway. We've got a nether chest and a teleporting skeleton. What more do you need in the world? That's a zombie. You're full kitted, you are, bro. Look at you, man. I ain't saying you're a gold digger. What? That's a bit more on target. The fuck was that? Oh yeah, if you want to know an easy way to farm arrows on this shitty game, what you do is you get yourself an infinity bow. Look at that. An infinity bow. Right, you get one arrow, one whole arrow, and then you just shoot it at the ground, mate. Right, as you can see, I've got 6 arrows. You walk across, and now I've got 6. You forgot to calculate. Does it not work now? Have they actually updated the only decent bit about this enchantment? Apparently so. It's like you can't duplicate arrows. Because like you're actually going to sit here and keep shooting your fucking bow over and over again to duplicate arrows when you could just make a skeleton farm. Or an AFK chicken farm and a gravel farm. Right, yeah. So many more efficient ways that you could get arrows than and sit there and shoot in a fucking bow. I don't know what's going off with mine and my mate's chat, but it's not working well for us both today. Which is fine, because it means you don't have to listen to me ramble. Which actually I come on here because I need to play with my dodgy controller, so I can charge the controller I'm using. So that I can go and play Apex. So I forgot to put my controller on charge. Apex is still installed as far as I'm aware anyway. Right, we came here for Lapis. Maybe I was using the dodgy control. Oh, nope, this is the dodgy control. I want the Lapis. I gotta admit, this noise that this fucking thing keeps making is rather annoying. I swear these bees are just making their own trees and shit here, mate. Why is Minecraft like doing way too much? I used to like playing this game because it was nice, quick, easy. We don't want Silk Touch. Really, just efficiency. Cost free. Cost 4. Don't give me an extra enchantment, I don't want to do it. I'd rather just use the efficiency. I can't be arsed with Minecraft, to be honest. Mainly because I'm going off with this loading shit. See, look, like, what the hell's going off? It might be a case of uninstalling this and reinstalling this, mate. Trying to sort my chat out with my friend, I don't know what's going off there.